So you can see we're in a very strange area. This block of andesite weighs 15 tons. The quarry is 70 kilometers plus off in that direction. How would it have been brought here? How could it have been brought here? This one is broken. And the break is not only ancient, but what kind of force would it take to break something like that? If it was a flaw in the stone, one would think that that flaw would have caused the stone to break while it was being transported from the quarry 70 kilometers away. It could in fact be evidence of an ancient major cataclysm that not only destroyed the original site itself, but also those who lived here. And you can also see here where someone was attempting to break pieces off this area there. They basically gave up because the stone is about 7 on the Mohs scale. The hardest stone we know of is diamond at 10. This is about 7. And the surfaces here again are incredibly flat for such a big thing. How could some primitive Bronze Age or even less than Bronze Age culture have achieved such astonishing accuracy? So in the oldest work, again, these incredible precision surfaces like this, no ornamentation. It seems totally practical, except this here is a reoccurring symbol. To me, it seems like it's almost as though it's the manufacturer's mark. And there's only one location that I've ever seen that symbol before, and that's in a very obscure little cave in the Sacred Valley of Peru. But that symbol repeats over and over again, especially in the famous so-called H blocks over in Pumapunku. Okay, we're inside what's called the subterranean temple. You see all the heads on the wall, on all 4 walls, and this is a depiction, supposedly, of Viracocha, the creator god. What's intriguing is you'll see that he has a beard, and that is very atypical of Native American people. However, this is not a fine sculpture, and it's also made out of red sandstone. What we're going to see through that gate is a much finer, much larger figure of Viracocha made out of harder andesite material. Some people are convinced that every type of human being around the world is portrayed in this subterranean courtyard, but the workmanship of the faces is really very crude, so that's very much a generality, and I personally don't believe it. You do see some people with headdresses that may possibly be from or similar to other cultures, such as the Olmec of Mexico, but to make a statement that all of them, or that all of humanity is represented in this wall, is really pushing it a bit far, I think. And a real problem with the subterranean temple we're in is that it was reconstructed in the 1960s, and so whoever supervised the reconstruction didn't really know exactly what it originally looked like, and they just took stone from the area and filled these walls in. These megalithic stones are probably original, but the other ones could have been from different buildings, from different areas of this site. So that is actually very sad, because it's not a smart idea to do, such as this kind of work. This makes the ancient builders' work look like a mess, when in fact what the ancient builders did was probably far superior to this. So it was the ignorance of archaeologists randomly picking stone and shoving it in the wall, randomly finding places for these heads to go. And it's really a tragedy, because this does not represent what this subterranean building or area originally looked like. So we're at the famous Sun Gate, and you see the relief carving on it. You see the precise flatness of the surface as I go around it here. That's astonishingly smooth. And then around the backside, amazing levels of erosion. So what they do know is that it was lying face down. This was exposed to the elements, and that's why there's so much erosion to it. We also see these false doors, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the real door in the center. All of them, you see the pattern. You see the double jam system on top, or double lintel on top. That, I think, is indicative of the original builders of the Pumapunku and this Tiwanaku site. How old? Arthur Poznansky, who spent decades studying this site in the 20th century, and an early user of archaeoastronomy, believed this site could be as old as 17,000 years. And of course, when he made that statement, his life was destroyed. Next, we go over to the Viracocha. So this statue is a famous sculpture of supposedly the god Viracocha, or maybe the one sent by Viracocha called Viracochan. It is most likely that it was made by the Tiwanaku culture, because that is what all of the inscriptions are on it from their culture. But the stone itself is the andesite that comes from Copacabana, 70 kilometers away. If you look at the actual base of it, what you can tell is that that is a very precise flat surface on this side and on all four sides. So originally this may have been a square, like a long square, and that then the people who lived here, the Tiwanaku culture, may have done the actual carving, but it's not a sophisticated piece of artwork as compared to the flat surfaces that we saw at Pumapunku and around this area. Quite unexpectedly, here at Tiwanaku, we've been told there are some elongated skulls. So our group is going to go check them out in this strange little hut thing. Whoa, holy fuck. Holy shit. Oh yeah. Holy crap. Especially the second one.
What a find.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
Very elongated.
Wonder how long they've been here.
Pottery.
Wonder how long they've been here. Wonder how long they've been here.
Man, that's it. She is going.
Okay. Look at the size and the shape of that.
It's not cranial deformation, it's a real one.
Let's just, keep it, make a closer picture, because there is a
very long jaw, no?
Yeah, could be cranial deformation. It does have the three major cranial plates here, you can see.
So that's contemporary.
Well, it's not a contemporary person, it's probably 2,000 years old. The eyes are not overly, eye sockets are not overly large, you can see. And complete set of teeth.
Whoa.
Oh, but it has this. This is different.
Yeah.
You see the suture coming back here, and then this very big suture area back here. That's kind of different.
No, of course not. Nobody mentioned that.
And then one
There's
more.
3 or 4 skulls there. Not all of them look as long as that one.
This one.
There's various offerings as well below them. There's the second.
So you see that this is more of a, it's more of a conventional, probable cranial deformation.
Yeah, maybe we could make some.
Yeah, let me get out and then.
And possible evidence of disease.
And definitely elongated.
Yeah. It looks too big to just be deformation. The cranium looks looks larger, but we don't have the ability to actually test it. Okay, thank you.